Today we're working on Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring from Solos for Young Violists, Book 2 by Barbara Barber. Welcome. Welcome to the studio. My name is Cassie and I'm a professional violist and teaching artist. Today we're going to work on Jesu. This is the second song in Book 2 of Solos for Young Violists. We're going to do a tutorial first and then a slow playthrough and an at-tempo playthrough. I do post timestamps in the comments below, so if you want to skip to one of those, feel free to. And I also post my fingerings and bowing suggestions in Patreon, and we would love to have you there if you'd like to join. Without further ado, let's get started. We're going to talk through each measure, so have a pencil handy. So starting at the beginning, I wanted to just talk about the time signature first. It's 9/8. In any time signature, that top number tells me how many beats are in one measure. The bottom number tells me what receives one beat. So if I even count here, the very first thing that we see is an eighth note rest, and then we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 eighth notes in that measure. So if it helps to count it, the way that I think of it is 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3 in each measure. The feel of it does kind of change when we get to rehearsal A. It becomes more of a 3/4 feel, which is why they have in parenthesis at the beginning 3/4. So it's kind of both time signatures are occurring at once. In 9/8, the subdivision or the tinier part of the beat is divided by 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. In 3/4, it's divided by 2, so the subdivisions feel like they're longer. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and. I hope that helps. If anything about those time signatures is confusing, post it in the comments and I'll try to help from afar. So I'm going to be starting right at the beginning. It says piano, so I'm going to be in the upper half. And if slurs are difficult for you, I'm going to suggest that you start, instead of doing a smooth slur, do with a stop slur. Until that feels comfortable, and then you can try to do it as a smooth slur. For most of these, I'm going to advocate for using probably about half of your bow until we get to the louder dynamic, and then we're going to use a little bit more. So starting right at the beginning, upper half, use a 4 here. Because I need a first finger on the G string, followed immediately by a first finger on the C string, I'm going to make sure that my finger is covering both strings. So instead of hopping between the two, as I go to put that first finger down, I'm putting it so that it covers both strings at the same time, not just one string and then I hop. So let's start right in measure 4. Cover that fifth, or with your first finger, cover both strings. 4 again. Here I have to cover the fifth, or cover both strings with my second finger. To second position. So where my 2 just was, I'm going to shift to a 1. Ways to practice this: after I play that open G, I'm going to take my first finger and play A and practice measuring that distance out with my first finger. Starting in measure 8. Shift. And this is that 3/4 feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Shift back to first position. Then a bunch of rest. Next entrance is back in second position. So this is first finger on the note B. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 Shift back down to first position. 1, 2, and so that TR right before rehearsal B means trill. And I'm gonna, after I've shifted back down, I'm gonna play my 2, and then I'm gonna leave my 1 set and go back and forth between A and B. So the important thing there is that you keep your 1 down. Right at B, this is kind of the same as the beginning. Cover the 5th. Cover the 5th. The tiny print at C that says piano is just cues for what the piano is playing, so we would not play that. Our next entrance is measure 27. Same idea, I'm going to start a little bit lower in the bow because it's now mezzo piano here. 4th finger, open. I'm going to say use an open here, and we've just come to treble clef. If you are struggling with reading treble clef as a violist, I did make a video about that, and I'll post it down in the comments below and up above. But for right now, we're just going to continue on, assuming that you are a treble clef master. Shift up here to 2. Cross 3 to the D string. Shift to first position. Shift up with 2. Now, we've now done this shift twice, and it is very, very difficult to do a shift under a slur. So I'm again going to advocate that instead of doing a smooth slur, where all sorts of weird stuff can happen, you're going to do the stop bow slur, shift. Once that feels like it's comfortable and it's integrated, the trick is to keep your bow moving, but kind of unengaged from the string for a second as you do that shift. So I'm engaged in the string to start, unengaged as I make the shift, and then re-engaged as I hit the note that I'm intending to shift to. So I'll try that one more time, show you a little bit closer. Unengaged, shift, re-engage. Now obviously that has to happen a little bit quicker. We can't change the rhythm there. So it's shift, and everything has to be super, super light. Really light arm weight with your bow, really light finger weight as you execute that shift. Let's start right back at D, up bow. Hide the shift. Shift back on that open A to first position. 4, open. So in measures like 35, where they're suggesting a 4th finger and then an open, the hard and fast rule for that is if I have notes after the open string note, so in this case it's an A, if I have notes after that A that are on the same string, on the D string, I'm not going to use an open. If I have notes that are on the A string, I will use an open. Let's start right at 36, which is that next line below D. Open. Open. Shift to 3rd position. Really high 4, harmonic. Harmonics are usually indicated by an open and the number 4. The harmonic is where my palm touches the upper bout, and I'm just going to usually drop my 3 or my 4, and it's in that range. The harmonic will not sound if you have other fingers down, so make sure that it's just either your third finger or your fourth finger, barely touching the string for that to sound. As I'm playing that harmonic, I'm gonna, it's an up bow, shift back down to first position. 4. A half step to second position, shift up, now we're in fourth position, 4, high 3, 1, cross over, stay in the same position to a low 3 on the D string, 1 is on A, high 2, low 3, and then we're going to shift back down to third position. Back up a half step to fourth position. And now we're safely back to alto clef. 3 open, not 3, 4 here. So it's rest. Shift back up to second position here to start that B. Back to first position. So the tiny notes at the end are called grace notes. After we finish off that trill, I'm going to sustain the big printed note, so that A, right before I do those final 2 grace notes to finish off that trill. At H, this is a bunch of arpeggios here, so this is a really great chance to practice those. Low 2, high 2. Really reach. High 3. And let that bring you to the upper half. Stay there. Even quieter. At the end means we have to hold it for at least 3 beats, but really for as many beats as we want after that. So now that we've worked through our tutorial, we're going to do our slow playthrough, and then next will be our at tempo playthrough. 2 and a 3 and a rest. rest. Now we're ready for our at-tempo playthrough. I'll still count us off before we start, and good luck. I'll see you at the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and if there's anything that I didn't cover that you're still wondering about, please post that in the comments. I really do enjoy trying to help from afar. And until next time, happy practicing.